So last May, I retired. Retired from full time work. I still work as an adjunct professor, which is basically part time, and I'm also a subject matter expert. And I do some contract work here and there. Uh, but what I enjoy doing most during my retirement time is driving my Tesla, specifically using full self driving. And I enjoy recording it because I actually enjoy going back and watching it. So I'll go back and watch it. The thing about when you're driving full self driving, remember it's supervised. So I'm also a private pilot for it. And what I learned in the instrument training was how to do a scan. So how do you scan between your instruments, which in this case is the screen, and outside the window? And so when you're doing supervised full self-driving, you should be spending most of your time looking out the window and then glancing every once in a while at the screen. The net result of that is that you miss things. So you just something might happen and you just don't see it on the screen. So I actually started making these recordings so that I could go back and say and watch and look at what actually happened on the screen and compared it to the outside. Driving. So as you can see, full self-driving at this level, 12.5.4.2, is fully hands off. There's a camera in the cabin. It's actually right above the rear view mirror that monitors you and makes sure that you're paying attention. If you spend too much time looking at the screen, it'll flag it, set off on a little alarm. If you spend too much time not looking forward out the window, if you look down or if you look basically if you're not looking out the window and it detects that, it'll flag a warning. And if you get too many warnings, it'll actually disable full self-driving for the rest of the drive. We call that FSD jail. So you have to pay attention. You are supervised. You are responsible for this car and what it does. So you've got to constantly be scanning. You got to be looking outside. You got to be looking at the screen. I spend about 90% of my scan looking out the windshield and about 10% glancing at the actual inside screen. So for example, that what just happened there, you saw the truck cut in front of the full self-driving and how well it handled it. I love that stuff. So anyway, so these recordings are just a cheap Picasso Chinese knockoff of a GoPro camera running. I do capture them at 4K now, and capturing the screen and the outside. Uh, the camera has really bad dynamic range, so I have to do some little bit of editing tricks here to so you can actually see the screen and see what's outside. So that's why the screen's sort of inset there. But anyway, this is just a drive to go to a Tesla supercharger. So the other thing I've been doing is I've been driving around to local superchargers. I record the drive and I make a video about the supercharger. So there's a separate video when I get to the supercharger. I create a separate video. It talks about the supercharger location, the restaurants that are in the location, hotels in the location, and general stuff like that. And this was a drive to Algonquin, if I recall. Now this is cool. This is when full self-driving is going through construction. I actually created a separate video for this because it was quite impressive what it did, and I'll point to that separate video towards the end here. Actually, maybe I can put it in a card, so it may have just popped up. Again, full self-driving. This is a 542, if I'm not mistaken, and that's right, it's 542, and it's going perfectly for me. Now I still run into the problems with the occasional stopping, or not. I don't want to say stopping. Actually, it's actually stopped at a green light. It's done that once. I made a video. It's up there. Most of the time though, when it comes up to green lights, it's effectively taking its foot off the accelerator and kicking in, of course, the very hard um, regenerative braking. So it feels like it's braking, but it's not actually braking. It's just slowing down aggressively. I'm not sure what the correct term would be, but that is still happening with this version. Otherwise, everything else, it's gotten a lot better. The steering wheel still jerks around a little bit. You'll see that in the video. And the problem with that is not the problem with that is really the confidence. So for me, I don't have an issue with it. My background's in machine learning and artificial intelligence. I have a fairly good understanding of what's going on in the background. I have enough of an understanding in order to sort of, I guess you say, trust it maybe. But my wife, who doesn't have that background, she can't stand it when the steering wheel shakes because in her mind that is a lack of confidence. Which is rightfully so. I think that's an accurate assumption. And So good news for her is her car, which has hardware 4, has got the absolute latest and greatest FSD, and that is butter smooth. That is just perfect. Um, so yeah, so the point of these videos is just to enjoy a drive in the car, enjoy a drive in a Tesla. This is a 2023 Model Y running FSD 12542. Welcome to the Albuquerque, Illinois supercharger, located in a Myers parking lot. Um, Myers and throughout the Midwest has sponsored superchargers. So if you ever use one, make sure you stop in and buy something. When I make the supercharger videos, I like to include a portion of the video that from the supercharger to the next major highway. And the idea is to help people who might want to go to that supercharger just get a image of, a tour, I guess, of what it looks like. And I do that because a lot of times when you're going to a supercharger, you don't know what the neighborhood looks like. I mean, honestly, you don't know if it's safe. You don't know. The goal of this video is to give people an opportunity to sort of see what the supercharger area looks like before they actually commit to going to it. Because a lot of times when you commit to going to a supercharger, you're committed. You have to go there because otherwise you're going to run out of charge. So leaving this supercharger, I'm actually going a different route. It takes me to I-90, and then from I-90 I'll go to 294 and then take 294 back up home.